24 minutes before 11 o'clock. Joe Reichel is in the studio from Damage Control Services, and he and Mike and Rob Sobieski are out there every day making sure that people's lives are put back together, or at least their homes are. And usually there's some kind of a damage that causes that from all sorts of places, and we've learned so much since you've been doing the show. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
Yeah. Now
it's funny you mentioned that. The guys are on a flood this morning.
Are they really?
Yeah. Just got a phone call from Straight Plumbing, and a house flooded. Not sure exactly what it is yet. I didn't get the details, but the guys
it was a plumbing problem.
A plumbing issue, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. They got the phone call. Straight Plumbing got the phone call that there was, pipe broke or something in the house, and it just flooded out. So.
I wonder how many people have that kind of a situation, call the plumber, get it fixed, and don't realize that there is a problem festering because there's water that has seeped into an area that they can't even see.
Well, most of the time, it's rather obvious you've got water everywhere. And the plumbers are good about that. They refer people that are able to take care of issues like this. So.
Well, see, now I had this happen to me, and I didn't realize it was causing a problem. I actually had water that was leaking between the tiles and the wood underneath the tiles.
Okay.
And the wood was rotting because of that, and you couldn't tell because there were tiles on top of it.
Yeah, you do have to be worried about rotten wood in that situation of the underflooring.
Yeah.
I've got a home in the southeast side of town that I'm working with the homeowners on that very situation. Their refrigerator line to the water line to the refrigerator broke while they were out of town. And it was leaking, and it got underneath the tile, just like you were saying.
Gotcha,
and they have a wood subfloor, and the wood subfloor is damaged now because of that.
Needing to be replaced.
Yeah. Right, we've got to go in, and we're going to work with them to remove all the tile, and then fix the subfloor, and then be able to put new tile. They'll have to have new cabinets as well because the water got underneath the cabinets. So.
Oh wow! So when the subfloor goes underneath the wall, then you probably have to remove the whole wall, or just the lower portion? How do you do that?
It really depends. It depends on the construction, how it was built. Typically, you don't have to remove the wall. There are instances where you do have to. So it really depends on the
whole wall, huh?
Well, it depends on the construction. If the subfloor is rotten underneath there.
And by the way, this is a call-in show. Let me give the number, and then we'll go to the phone. The phone number is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-9622. Joe Reichel is your host. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe.
Hi, Joe. This is Chantel.
Good morning, Chantel.
Good morning. How are you?
Great. Thanks for calling.
Good. Listen, I've got a question for you. I've got a house that we have made a sinkhole claim on.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
This is Chantel Bohannon. I know who this is.
Oh, yes.
Chantel Bohannon with Bohannon and Associates Land Survey.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, thanks for calling. So I hate to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, we're having problems all in our neighborhood, but I wanted to know how you guys could help us out.
Well, it really depends. There's a lot of variables there, but I'm sure we'll be able to help you out as far as working with a company that does the underpinning or regrouting, whatever needs, typically whatever needs done with your home. So we'll have to figure out, the best avenue to fix the problem that's causing all of the issues in your home. I'm assuming you have some cracks that are. What are the issues with the home that you're?
We've noticed some cracks in the garage and out on the driveway.
Okay.
And our neighbors directly next to us had a sinkhole and they had it fixed, and so they came out and they did the, I guess, whatever that they look
testing
into the core samples and everything. So the engineer has a report. We haven't seen it yet, but they say we have a sinkhole.
Oh, congratulations. Congratulations, you have a sinkhole.
Yes, welcome to the rest of Central Florida.
Well, that is true, and you probably know that, being surveyors and Florida, especially Central Florida, there are lots and lots of sinkholes. I was talking to one insurance lady, and she told me, and it was kind of scary, to think about it. She said that Central Florida is like Swiss cheese. So, we have, there are lots of them, but, pretty much we'll have to figure out what, the best route for you to go. I don't know if you're at that point yet, but we'll we can figure out the best way to fix what problems that you have, and then once those problems are done, there's a wait time of 90 days before any work can be done.
Oh, okay.
And as far as repairing. So, they fix the issues under the home, as far as jacking it back up if that needs done, or the underpinning and grouting, whatever it is.
Okay.
And then there's a wait time to make sure that there's no more settling. And then after that is done, then we can go about fixing, work with you if you decide to go with us, as far as fixing the structural issues, fixing the driveway, fixing the cracks in the garage, whatever other cracks there might be in the walls. So, I mean, we've seen homes where tile floor is buckling up, and you need to take all the tile out and fix the slab, and then put new flooring back down.
Okay.
A lot of times, with sinkhole claims, we'll see ceilings that are cracking, and doorways that don't shut, windows that won't open, things like that. So it doesn't sound like your situation is too awfully bad.
No.
Yet, and that's a good thing. We wouldn't want you falling in a hole.
No, gosh, no.
But I mean, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and there's nothing that can't be done. It's not like we can't fix it. So. All
right, excellent.
But
so, what is my first step to?
It sounds like you've made a claim with your insurance company, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty much the first step. Once you get your engineers, you don't have that yet, right? Your engineers report?
No.
Okay. We'll need to get the engineers report. Once you have that, then we'll be able to figure out getting with a company, some sort of a company, in order to do the repairs to the sinkhole itself, whatever it takes to fill that, to fix that issue. So that's kind of the first step, and the engineer's report should shed a lot of light on that, as far as what's the best way to get, how best to fix that. Okay. All right.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much, Joe.
Thanks for calling, and you can give me a call, and we can set up, if you want, further help with this, give me a call.
Absolutely, I will do.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Well, the other day we heard about a guy who we know who lives on a sinkhole and wants to stay there because the insurance is so low. Something like that.
Has his home been?
It was like $99
for it, or?
I don't know. It was just, I don't know if they were joking. I mean, I know it was a real story.
Oh wow!
But it was like the son was joking about his father is so cheap he doesn't want to move off of a sinkhole. The guy's really nice, and he's a very generous man. It was a family joke that it's inappropriate for me to tell it because I'm not family. But you know what I mean?
Well, and that's, hopefully nothing bad will happen there. And that's the situation, like in Tampa, where, that home opened, the ground opened up underneath, and the home, fell in. A guy was in his, in the bedroom, and, fell down the hole. So, that's the absolute worst case scenario. I mean, we've had several, here in Ocala. There's one on the northeast side of town behind Fat Boys. I guess it was about a year. Fat Boys Barbecue out here in 40. Right. About a year ago, just a hole opened up one morning, right directly outside of a house, and a car had fallen into that one. So, wow. I mean, if it had been, 10 feet one side, it would have been under the house and caused some, more serious damage.
It is pretty scary stuff, yeah.
And you never know, especially this time of the year when we start getting more rain. the more rain that we get in the springtime like this, it will, cause sinkholes to open up.
So do you think there's a construction technique change that we could kind of implement since Florida's got this problem? I mean, could we start from scratch? Say, look, from now on, let's all build houses with these big supports that reach down to the bedrock or something?
Well, you can, and there are people that do that, in order to prepare. I know one guy, when he built his home, he built it with that in mind. And this was a guy that works for State Farm. I know personally, and he's never told me the story, but another agent with State Farm, Angie Lewis, told me the story that he built his home with that in mind,
just in case,
and ended up having a sinkhole and had to.
Oh wow!
And he had done the extra underpinning with the home in order to not have a problem, and still had a. Ended up. I don't know if he ever made a claim, but he had sinkhole issues and he had to fix.
Wow.
So.
Wow. Well, he dodged a bullet, as they say, right?
Well, I mean, it was fortunate that he built the house as sturdy as he did, or he probably would have more issues.
Yeah.
But.
Let's go to the phone again. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe Reichel.
Yeah, good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
Have you done any work with tile roofs as far as them having problems and repairing and so on and so forth?
I have not, and you do have to be very careful with those as far as, how you take care of them. You don't want to be up there walking on them, and, that causes more damage. And I know a lot of people that have them pressure washed in order to, and you'll see guys up there walking on them, and that's not a good thing. But we've referred Big D Roofing to any of our.
Yeah, he's a neighbor of mine.
Okay, yeah, Donnie with Big D is able to take care of those. So that's who we refer for that.
You don't see a lot of tile roofs here. I think they're more popular along the coastal areas because of hurricane wind, where they're roofs more stable,
Right.
And I would imagine there's a lot of more cost involved. I'm just thinking in the back of my mind that I'm going to be needing a roof here in the next few years, and maybe going the route of ceramic or whatever they call roofs, tile roofs, and for the reason of wind, and then probably longevity, because the way I understand, they're kind of almost like lifetime, right?
You do have there are some problems that are caused by them, because they, on your hips and different areas, they have to use cement in order to fasten those in. So there are maintenance issues that are needed with them. Typically the best, as far as a roofing, in my opinion, and everybody has their own opinions, I'm sure, but your metal roofing. Metal roofs are predominantly known to be maintenance free. Forever and ever. So when I had my first home down here, I was located out in the national forest on a lake, and I had to re-roof my home there, and I went metal, and I was concerned about forest fires, and sure enough, about 3 years after I put the metal roof on, we were fairly close to the fire. I mean, they were coming with their helicopters taking water out of our lake to put the fire out down the block, but there were embers flying around, so I'm glad I did that, but it wasn't really. It looked good out in the woods on the house, but I like in a home in the city. I don't know. I understand how you can almost get tiles shaped metal roof, not those long strips, right? There are a variety of different metal roofing tiles now, and like there's roofing applications, and there are those right now that are in a I guess sort of like a shingle form. That look really good. But we just put a metal roof on a home for the Noble family. And they're in the south east side of town. In Quail Hollow neighborhood. A nice subdivision. And they went with a copper metal roof, and it is a very beautiful roof, and it is really they're doing a lot to update the home, and almost a complete home remodeling project, so a renovation project. So and there, with the varieties of colors and types of roofs that are out there, you can really you can spruce up a home beautifully. With different types of roofing, and like I said, metal is one of the one of those that will last forever and ever.
I'm just wondering, Tula, with lightning down here, if you wouldn't be better protected with a metal roof.
I don't know as far as lightning with a metal roof, but I know there's a lot of people in like the Villages area that they put the lightning rods on the homes. Because a lot of homes do get struck by lightning. And we've done several restoration jobs from lightning strikes. So
we're supposedly in the lightning capital of the United States around here, down towards the south, towards Tampa, I guess.
Exactly, especially this time of the year as we have more spring showers. The spring thunderstorms that we're going to be having, the more and more rain that we get here, and into the summertime we'll have a lot more lightning strikes.
Do you install lightning rods?
We do not.
Okay.
And I don't even have a company that we refer for that, but I'm sure if you did a Google search, you'd be able to find. I know there are companies in the Village area that do it, so that's not too far from here.
Okay, it was nice talking to you. Thank you.
Thanks for your call.
You bet. Bye now.
With the Swiss cheese analogy of the ground here, how is it possible that we have skylines like in Tampa, those large buildings? Do they do something different before they build them, just to be sure?
Well, I'm sure there's testing that goes into the ground, and you've got all kinds of compaction, footers. I mean, it's an extensive project whenever you build a large building. More extensive than it is when you do a home. But if you don't do the proper compaction, if you don't make sure that everything is good before you build, one of the key to a good home is the foundation. So you have to make sure all that's good and ready before you build a home. So you want to make sure that that's right, and you don't cut any corners. Make sure you've got the proper stuff done.
Home or house, right? Foundation.
That's right.
Be philosophical right there, right? The phone number right now, if you'd like to call Joe and ask him a question about what it takes to keep your home safe, or perhaps to get it repaired if something has happened, the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-9622. Fascinating topic. And the sinkhole thing is such a disturbing one. It's, Do you suppose, let's say, how do I ask this question? If I were to build, like in Rainbow Lakes Estates, if you don't know where that is, in the western part of the county, there's a lot of open areas that have never been built on. But like around here, it's almost like every lot has been built on at one time or another. Do you think these are safer because they've been tried, so to speak?
Well, no.
No, okay.
Not really. You really don't know unless you have the testing, the geological testing done for a location. You don't know what's under the, what's under the ground.
Like one in the historical district, they've been there how many years? 100 years maybe, or whatever?
Or longer.
So that doesn't necessarily guarantee that they won't have a problem.
Oh, no. No, I've been on home sites. House has been there 100 years, and we've worked with the guys from Geotech, for example, and they've been out there, and they've got those, it's a neat little rod with a handle on it, and he'll, poke it in the ground and, just push it down in the ground to where he finds, hits something solid, and, walking around the yard, and, he'll push it down in a spot that, is a, possible problem, and he, it'll go all the way to the ground. So you really don't know.
How long is the rod?
Well, it's 6-8 foot long.
Wow.
So, that's just a, hey, I'm here. This is what you might have an issue with, without doing the actual boring and sampling to see what is there.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of, it can be disturbing to realize that, hey, there's nothing underneath me. So you
very disturbing.
You really don't know.
Do you, at the Discovery Center, there's a meteorologist. I think he studied in the Air Force. And he one time, his name is Ken Nash. Do you know him by chance?
I have met him.
And he demonstrated one time, it was almost like, those ant farms you had when you were a kid? He kind of had like an ant farm demonstration of a sinkhole. And it was very cool how easily one circumstance, like if water is actually what's holding you up, and that water goes away, nothing's holding you up. And, that seems to be what's happening.
Right, and that's like I was saying, with the more rain that we get right now in the springtime, that's flowing underground. It's moving things around, so I mean it's constantly eroding and causing more spots too.
Now,
so.
Robin probably knows this plot of that we're sitting on right now better than any of us here, because she used to live like a block from here when she was a kid. This was a sinkhole back then. They used to come here and just, I guess, walk through it or whatever.
Come hang out.
So this, where we are right now, is an old sinkhole. So now that we're in a sinkhole, are we safe?
Sure. No. You're not
so
safe.
So there could be a sinkhole under the sinkhole.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they could continue to go down deeper and deeper. Yeah, you never know how deep a sinkhole could go until you're there. So,
man, if this thing starts shaking, I'm out of here.
It probably isn't going to go anywhere.
Have I ever pointed to some of the corners here in the Cascades? They're like that one out there. It's got a metal brace on it. So things like that. I mean, I'm guessing that's just a matter of age, right? They could.
Yeah, I mean, there's constant. I mean, any building you'll have settling. Expansion, contraction, and movement. And that's, just because of the weather and because of movement with the earth. So, a lot of times you'll have it. Is it sinkhole or is it settling? You don't really know. So, like I said, it's important that a home is built right from the beginning, and then you'll have less settling.
Right.
You'll have less, movement. Everything will move together if it moves. So, you never. You really don't know. And the older a building is, the more problems, the more age and stress cracks you'll have on a structure. So.
What is your phone number before we run out of time?
My phone number, 352-817-6574. Or you can reach me on my email, joe@damageflorida.com.
And what is the office? Is the office line? Is there actually somebody in the office, or is it
the office? We're in and out of the office all the time, but it is forwarded to one of us at all times.
I gotcha. Okay.
So someone will answer the office line. That's 352-622-5135.
So you don't have like this.
We don't have a
unnamed receptionist or something.
We don't have someone that sits there waiting for your phone call. we are the ones, either Mike, Rob, or myself. So.
Well, yours is the kind of business where you really have to go to the home. There's no way around it.
Right. Well, that's this morning. The guys were on their way to finish a fire job that we're doing, and it's a kitchen remodel, basically because of a cooking fire. This past week we tore the kitchen out. On Monday a week ago we started on Monday tearing the kitchen out. Tuesday, Wednesday, new cabinets went in. On Friday, the granite tops went in. Hardcore Granite put the tops in for us, and then we had the plumber come out there. Yesterday, the electrician was there. And today, they were supposed to be finishing it up, but they got called to a flood.
Wow, they're moving quickly.
Well, we try to keep the homeowners in mind as we work through a project.
That's awesome.
So they can get back in their home quickly.
And you have one more phone call before we say goodbye.
Excellent.
Good morning. You're on the air with Joe.
Hey, good morning, people. I was looking at buying a house that had pretty severe smoke damage, and I'd never fixed up a smoke damaged house before. I'm wondering if how you go about removing the soot, or do you paint over it? Do you have to wash it all out? Will the smell ever get out of it? It has hardwood floors, so I can't just go in and power wash the whole inside. I'm just wondering how you would attack something like that.
Well, there's several different options. Cleaning is necessary in order to get everything, all of the soot out of there. And then, paint would be, the next step in order to, use a Kills in order to get, that taken care of. As far as the odor and the smell, there's a lot a lot of different options. There's hydroxyl technology that gets rid of smoke odors. A lot, really depends on the situation, on what you have, as far as the extent that it would take. So anywhere odor can go, you're going to have, as far as any porous materials, you're going to have that smoke smell in there. It won't just gradually go away. It will lessen with time, but it's not something that's just going to disappear. And it really depends how bad it is too.
I see. It was, in my opinion, I thought it was pretty bad. Another fellow real estate investor said you have to be careful because things could be heat damaged and you won't be able to get insurance on the house. Is that true?
Well,
like the slab could have been heat damaged, and now they'll say that, well, this house is uninsurable because it had this fire. What happened was a car caught fire in the carport, burned the roof of the carport, and ended up through the attic, and smoke damaged the house that way.
Okay, something like that you probably won't have a problem, but I mean, you always do have to worry about, heat cracks and, the heat causing damage. I mean, it wouldn't hurt. I mean, if there is spots that are really bad, to have a structural engineer take a look at it, and he'd be able to sign off on, the integrity of the building.
Right.
Or also tell you what needs to be replaced, and that's typically what we do. And when there's a fire, we'll have them come out if whatever block walls need to be removed. But the slab in itself should be okay.
Yeah, it is a block home. That's one of the only reasons I was considering it for investment property. I feel I'll probably have to peel the roof off and probably resheet it and replace drywall or do a whole lot of washing, priming, and painting.
Well, give me a call. We can come out and take a look at it if you want, and let you know what does need done. So
I may do that because it's a nice, cute little house in a cute location, so it may be worth saving.
Excellent. Well, thanks for your call today.
Okay, thank you so much.
Wow, I like that tagline. It's your business, saving houses. Nice, saving lives, saving houses.
Saving houses. Saving homeowners is really what we're doing.
Yeah. Give us your phone number again.
My phone number, 817-6574, or the office line is 352-622-5135. Almost forgot it there. Or Joe at damageflorida.com.
And call us here at the radio station if you need that repeated slowly over the phone, or go to the WOCA website. Robin keeps that up to date. If you go to the AM Ocala Live guest list, you'll see Joe's name under damage control at the 10:35 slot on every Tuesday.
And before we go, next week's show is going to be really cool. We got a guest coming in.
Who's the guest?
His name is John Barton, and we're going to be talking about some new technology that we're going to start using.
Okay. Can't wait. Always love new stuff.
It's going to be exciting.
All right. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Good
Thank
show.
you.
We'll take a little break and be right back.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala.
ABC News Now, I'm Daniela Bellata. The College of Cardinals will soon enter the Sistine Chapel to decide who among them will be the next pope. Could he be American? The author of the Vatican Diaries doubts a U.S. cardinal will be chosen to succeed Benedict. The accused shooter in the Colorado movie theater massacre will be in court today. James Holmes is expected to plead not guilty by reason of insanity.